Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your night to join me. I really appreciate it. I always think to myself, if somebody stumbles upon the channel and it's their first time, the kind of impressions that I'd like to leave them. First impressions are everything. And I can't dare to imagine the kinds of first impressions one might take from watching a random video here on the channel. My goal in life is to have a huge catalog of videos that I can refer back to and that people can see my experience with all the cool things that happened to me. I think it's interesting. I think between all of us at home, listen, there's going to be a time in my life where I want to stream 24/7. I haven't said this publicly, and I think I've mentioned it personally, and maybe perhaps if anybody to my roommate in passing, but really this is something that's been on my mind for a long, long time. Like since I seen Ed TV and the Truman Show was popping off as a pre-teenager, I really am interested in creating content that streams all day, like facts. I'm about ready to want to stream my entire life, and I feel like that will come. I feel like if I'm pretty, dedicated to this. So I'm just saying, if this is your first time watching this channel and 2 minutes into this sidebar before we, finally start talking about what we're going to start talking about, like, this is going to be something. You feel me? And I am interested in sharing like the entire day, every second, every hour. I don't care. What else do I got going on? Anyways, tonight I do want to talk about signs of the times. And okay, so I think in America, because it's very consumer centric and because everyone's all about the Benjamins, and that's kind of the way it's sold here or whatever. But in that same category, it's also kind of nice that it is consumer centric because um there are many different signs, literal signs sometimes, that signify the changing of season, that signify the changing of vibe. And I want to talk about those signs of the times. I know that I am a multi-generational, seventh generation born native New Mexican here in the high desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. I know that I grew up spoiled. I had a really, really awesome opportunity in my life for at least, a good part of it as a child to really be around family and to really understand, and to be loved, by people within your family and stuff. And I feel like Hispanics are very family centric, right? Like seriously, like Hispanics, they're like about family. You feel me? And to the detriment sometimes, because sometimes some of us just have bad families. We need to call them on it, and if we don't, nothing will ever change. And in fact, we'll all just end up being, almost 40, having some kind of a relationship with their parents. Whatever. I'm sorry, I'm a loser. What more can I do? When I was an overachiever, you guys didn't like it. And now that, I've refused to do anything, nobody likes it. Like, what is going on? Anyways, signs of the times, specifically, and I think they're regional, right? Because I've done a lot of traveling and stuff as well. And it could be a different kind of food. It could be listening to Delilah. I know that a big change for me in my environment is the night after Thanksgiving, because we know, or a lot of us know, or too many people know, that, beginning Thanksgiving, Magic FM starts to play Christmas music all day, and that's when I ultimately hear John Tesh voice again and Delilah. And I've only ever known of John Tesh as the guy who came on for Christmas, but wouldn't you know? I mean, the guy is so culturally relevant. He's been mentioned on episodes of Seinfeld, and I'm really not even sure how old this man is. Like, I hear him talk, like last year I'd hear him talk, and I'm like, how old is this guy? Like, he's talking about stories from the 70s. Like, it's like 2023, last year. And I'm like, this guy's talking about stories from the 70s like he experienced them as like a middle aged adult. And I'm like, wait a second. John Tesh, how old are you? Like seriously, like what's going on here, John Tesh? Anyways, I think that's a sign of the time, at least for me, right? Is when, and I think moreover, I used to have, I'm a superstitious guy and I have routines, you feel me? And I remember growing up as a kid that, if I didn't listen to Delilah and John Tesh Thanksgiving night as I played pool in my grandma's playroom all by myself sometimes, then it wasn't going to be a happy Christmas season. And so it didn't matter how old I was or what I was doing. I didn't tell anybody. I was just like, I'm telling myself, like, people do their really silly rituals before football games and all this stuff. They never wash their socks, your favorite pair of game day socks, whatever. Men have really weird habits. I'm sure girls do too. I mean, again, I'm just not a part of that girl club, you feel me? But like, are there girl or they, them athletes who have lucky pairs of socks they never wash, And it's like, anyways, there's all these like little routines and stuff. But I used to do that, right? Like, I used to do that. And I think that's cool because at some point, I guess, on a dark side of humor, I was unable to do that. And then my grandparents lost everything. My grandfather ended up passing away. They lost their house. So, yeah, I mean, you know, um, superstitions. I'm just saying superstitions. Yeah, I think that signs of the times here too, right? It's just so it could be a radio personality, it could be a holiday shake, right? It could be eggnog. I mean, because again, for some reason, Americans don't like eggnog except for around Christmas. I don't. I'm sure you can get eggnog. I'm sure of it, right? You can go somewhere and you get eggnog. They probably sell it year round, but it's just kind of like also the intrinsic value of all the lovely little dinosaurs that we eat on the annual for the holiday season, like the turkeys. The turkey only ever gets attention when one gets pardoned before the annual celebration of, eating all the other ones. The little dinosaurs. Hey, I am a fan of turkey, not gonna lie. I mean, your boys gotta eat here too. You feel me? Like, I'm not into dressing wild game. I'm not into seeing any sort of thing that takes place before the dressing or the unaliving of the animal that I'm consuming. And moreover, like, if there was something better than turkey to eat, I would eat it. Like, can I, is there something better than turkey? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So, signs of the times could be like biscochitos or green chili stew. Again, these are all very regional, native, local staples. So, if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, that's fine. I mean, maybe you live in Texas and there's a certain kind of home style chili that comes around during the holidays. I don't know. I just know about what happens here. And I know that Luminatias pop up, and that's super um, local. I don't think I've seen Luminatias anywhere else. I think Luminatias are super Spanish. Like, I don't even say Hispanic because every branch within the Spanish ethnic group has their kind of version of Luminarias. And I feel like Luminarias came from an even more ancient practice in like the East, where they fly the flying kites that burn. I mean, it's just really cool. So Luminarias are definitely a cultural, regional, local staple that I don't see anywhere else around the country, and that is very true to New Mexico. So we'll start to see Luminarias around town soon, and there's whole tours that bring fanciful folks from all over the country around Albuquerque to see the Luminatias. There's an actual Luminatia tour. And in the country club area, actually, the only time I've ever wanted to own a mansion was, and still is, if you own one of those really expensive mansions in the country club area here in Albuquerque. And these houses start at around $2 million. It's a really upper class area, but it's also a historical area. And so every year the like Luminatia tour goes through there. and it's so dope. Like seriously, like the whole neighborhood is lit up with Illuminatias from people who've probably only lived in those houses for like, tops 20 years. But hey, welcome to New Mexico. Thanks for buying that $3 million house that you pay zero property tax on. I mean, at least comparatively speaking, next to the neighbor who pays income tax forever and way different other kinds of taxes and then gets taxed by Uncle Sam and receives no benefit. Anyways, it's tough and it's very expensive being poor. And this is a true statement. So I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thank you for watching my shows. I really appreciate it. I make 4 every single night, and I will till the end of the year so that we can make sure we have the 1,000 videos in the catalog, moving confidently and formidably, I would say, into the new year of 2025, because there will in fact be 1,000 videos, and that's something, you know? I mean, for somebody who really, really, really wants to just do nothing, I end up having all of these lovely opportunities to do more than just something sometimes. And I feel like this channel is just the beginning, and I feel like we're all just getting to know each other. So I hope that you guys have had as much fun as I have so far getting to know each other. And I hope, and cheers to you, that you'll continue to watch this show and continue to grow with me moving forward. So have a wonderful night. Have a good work week. You feel me? I'll see everybody tomorrow. And I hope that you guys had a really good weekend as well. All right? Bye.